In a world increasingly shaped by speed, uncertainty, and relentless information, anxiety has quietly become one of the most persistent shadows trailing humanity. It does not always wear the mask of panic attacks or trembling hands. Sometimes it appears as the hesitancy to speak up in a meeting, the dread of an unanswered message, the fear of phone calls, or the sense of doom before an exam or a conversation with a stranger. At its core, anxiety often stems from one powerful illusion, the belief that something near, something in front of us, has the ability to completely destroy our life. This illusion becomes so convincing that it triggers a full-fledged fight-or-flight response, rooted deep in our biology. The amygdala, that ancient part of the brain designed to protect us from lions and natural disasters, now sparks with urgency at the sound of a doorbell or a negative comment online. The body follows suit. The heart races. The breath shortens. Muscles tense up. Blood is redirected. The body prepares for war. But there is no war. There is only perception. For many individuals, especially those who deal with social anxiety, this illusion shapes their day-to-day reality. A simple interaction becomes a battlefield. A greeting or a conversation is interpreted not as an opportunity, but as a potential threat to one's dignity, identity, or safety. The mind constructs narratives so vivid and believable that it becomes difficult to see through them. It says, this interaction will bring harm, it will only cause damage, it will make you small, it will expose your flaws. But in reality, the interaction is neutral. It holds no power. It simply is. The threat is imagined, but the fear is real. Understanding this is the first act of liberation. The moment we recognize that our fear is constructed, that our anxiety is a misinterpretation rather than an accurate alarm, we begin to reclaim power. Not by denying the fear, but by confronting it with truth. With clarity. With the firm, almost parental tone of inner correction that says, no, this cannot destroy me. This does not have that kind of power. This is where real transformation begins. Not in pushing fear away, but in turning toward it and addressing it directly. The internal conversation shifts. Instead of surrendering to the spiral of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios, we stand up mentally and say, even if something goes wrong, I will handle it. I have the capacity to deal with this. I've faced worse. I am not helpless. At the foundation of this mindset is a deeply rooted self-belief. It is not about unrealistic optimism or pretending that life is without pain. It is about developing the inner strength to say, if I lose something, I will survive. If I get hurt, I will heal. I am capable of navigating the storm. This kind of confidence is not loud. It is not arrogant. It is quiet, grounded, and unshakable. It grows not in the absence of hardship, but in the presence of it. Fear becomes manageable when we redefine our relationship with loss, rejection, and failure. Instead of fearing them as endpoints, we begin to see them as teachers. As necessary parts of the journey. As stepping stones to wisdom, resilience, and self-awareness. Anxiety thrives in the soil of avoidance and perfectionism. It begins to wither when exposed to acceptance and curiosity. When we allow ourselves to feel discomfort, to fail without self-hatred, and to explore uncertainty with openness, we create space for peace. Part of this process involves recognizing how skewed our perception can become. The human brain is an incredible storyteller, but it often operates with limited information, influenced by past traumas, outdated beliefs, societal pressure, and chronic overthinking. It exaggerates danger. It assumes patterns where none exist. It repeats the same fear loops with different characters and settings. One rude person becomes a reflection of all people. One failure becomes a prophecy of lifelong inadequacy. One rejection becomes proof of unworthiness. But perception is not reality. It is only a version of reality filtered through our experiences. Correcting our perception does not mean ignoring intuition or red flags. It means learning to distinguish between real threats and imagined ones. Between present danger and echoes from the past. Between what is happening and what we fear might happen. This is easier said than done, but it is possible through conscious effort. One of the most effective practices is to pause and breathe. When anxiety hijacks the body, bringing attention to the breath grounds us in the now. It reminds the nervous system that we are safe. That we are not being chased. That the heart can slow down, the muscles can soften, the mind can rest. A simple, intentional breath can serve as a bridge from panic to presence. Another vital practice is recentering on the current task. Often, anxiety pulls us away from the present and into a vortex of hypothetical scenarios. It says, what if I mess up? What if they laugh at me? What if I can't recover from this? But the truth is, the only power we have is in the present moment. We cannot control outcomes, only effort. We cannot control others, only ourselves. By redirecting focus to what we can do right now, we shrink the space anxiety occupies. In the midst of this storm, there is a simple mantra that can anchor us. I need to do this, and I shall do it well. That's it. Not perfectly. Not without discomfort. But with presence. With heart. With intention. And when the task is done, it is crucial to reflect not with criticism but with compassion. Did something go wrong? That's okay. What can be learned? What went right? What strength was shown? What small victory occurred? This process of reflection rewires the brain. It creates new associations. The mind begins to see fear not as a signal to retreat, but as an invitation to grow. Over time, we also begin to appreciate the value of negative experiences. The bitter ones, the painful ones, the ones that left us shaken, these are often the greatest teachers. A person who rejects you teaches you something about their priorities or emotional maturity. An experience that wounds you reveals where healing is needed. A moment of embarrassment uncovers a hidden belief about self-worth. When approached with curiosity instead of judgment, every difficult event offers a lesson, a seed of strength. But to access these lessons, we must rise above the immediacy of the situation. We must become observers, not dissociated, but spacious. Viewing each event from a higher perspective allows us to detach from the drama and observe the patterns. This shift in perspective is a hallmark of emotional maturity. It says, this moment is part of a larger story. It does not define me. It contributes to me. One practical way to reinforce this is by journaling or noting down all positive or neutral interactions with the same stimulus that once caused anxiety. If you fear social situations, record every moment where the outcome was not disastrous. If you fear dogs, note every calm encounter. This evidence-based approach challenges distorted thinking. It trains the mind to recognize balance and nuance. Equally important is the celebration of small wins. Every time you face a fear, even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, it is a victory. Every non-negative interaction is proof of growth. Every moment you choose courage over avoidance builds a new narrative. These moments deserve acknowledgement. They deserve celebration. Because they are not small. They are signs of transformation. And when in doubt, when fear begins to whisper again, return to the philosophy of surrender. Not a passive resignation, but a deep trust in life. A trust that what will be, will be. That destiny unfolds with or without our control. That every event, whether joyous or painful, is leading us somewhere meaningful. That even the losses carry purpose. To live this way is to embrace life with softness and strength. It is to wake up each day not seeking safety in avoidance, but courage in engagement. To ask, what can I learn today? How can I grow? What fear can I face with grace? And when the answer comes, to act with presence. To breathe deeply. To remember who you are beneath the noise. Not a victim. Not a coward. But the quiet, relentless hero of your own story. One who walks through fear not because they are fearless, but because they are deeply committed to living fully. This is the kind of strength the world needs. Not perfection, not invincibility, but resilient honesty. The willingness to keep showing up, to keep learning, to keep believing that we are capable of more than we think. That we are already more than we know. And that nothing, no event, no person, no fear, has the power to destroy us. Not when we remember who we are. Not when we finally decide to believe in our strength. If this message resonated with you, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that fear is just a story. You hold the pen now. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this today. And remember, every step you take through fear is a step closer to your strength. Thanks for watching.